This is PCE 23 Performance Task Number 5. I am Francis Andiskaya from BSPCE 3B, and today I will be reporting about GMSK, also known as Gaussian Minimum Shift Keying. Gaussian Minimum Shift Keying, or to give it its full title, Gaussian Filtered Minimum Shift Keying, or GMSK, is a form of frequency modulation that is used in radio communications systems and is most widely associated with the 2G GSM mobile communication system, where it proved to be an effective form of modulation. It was one of the reasons that GSM cell phones had a long battery life in view of the high efficiency that could be obtained from the RF power amplifiers. So how does it work? GMSK modulation is based on MSK, which in itself is a form of continuous space frequency shift keying, or CPFSK. One of the problems with standard forms of PSK is that the sidebands extend out from the carrier. To overcome this, MSK and its derivative GMSK can be used. MSK and also GMSK modulation are what is known as a continuous phase scheme. There are no phase discontinuities because the frequencies changes occur at the carrier zero crossing points. This arises as a result of the unique factor of MSK that the frequency difference between the logical 1 and logical 0 states is always equal to half the data rate. This can also be expressed in terms of the modulation index, and it is always equal to 0.5. GMSK and AIS the automatic identification system. The automatic identification system, or AIS, is an automatic tracking system that uses transceivers on ships and is used by Vessel Traffic Services, or VTS. An AIS transceiver normally works in an autonomous and continuous mode regardless of whether it is operating in the open seas or coastal or inland areas. AIS transceivers are two different frequencies: VHF maritime channels 161.975 MHz and 162.025 MHz, and use 9.6 kilobits per second Gaussian minimum shift keying, or GMSK modulation over the 25 kHz channels using the high-level data link control, or HDLC packet control. Most AIS transmissions are composed of bursts of several messages. In these cases, between messages, the AIS transmitter must change channel. Before being transmitted, AIS messages must be NRZI encoded, and AIS messages are transmitted using the GMSK modulation. The GMSK modulator BT product used for the transmission of data should be 0.4 maximum, which is the highest nominal value. Here is an example of an AIS message modulation signal. GMSK coded data should frequently modulate the VHF transmitter. The modulation index should be 0.5 and the transmission bit rate is 9,600 bits per second. Ordinary VHF receivers can receive AIS with the filtering disabled. However, the audio output from the radio will need to be then decoded. The end of my presentation.